The Mario movie was just phenomenal. It had many great moments, and yes, there were a couple things that you could nitpick, but overall, I really don't have anything negative to say about this movie. This movie was a blast, but there was one weird scene that I just have to talk about because it rubbed me in such a weird way. It was just very strange, and I know a lot of people probably saw it as well, so I thought I'd make a video and kind of talk about that moment also. Now, the moment comes when Bowser is getting ready to marry Peach, and he's getting the wedding ready, and everybody's walking into the reception, getting ready to watch, the wedding between Bowser and Peach. But there's two enemies, and rather you can call them bosses, that we see in this scene that appear as special guest cameos, and they are King Bob-omb and King Boo. So both kings get invited to this royal wedding, and King Bob-omb from Mario 64 actually plays a little bit of a role of the main story, because he actually has a fuse going through his crown, and Peach uses that fuse by picking up a stake, setting it on fire, and tossing it at King Bob-omb's fuse in order to blow up the reception hall, which is a pretty cool scene. But other than that, King Bob-omb really doesn't have any other type of role. You can tell he's supposed to be a cool guest cameo, but they also tied him into the story a little bit, which was pretty cool. But we move on to King Boo as well, because King Boo actually has no other scene in this entire movie besides the scene of him walking down the aisle in order to find his seat. Well, technically floating down the aisle. But this was by far the most strange moment in the entire movie for me, because King Boo looks terrible. Like, seriously, if you watch this live, next time you watch this movie, just watch King Boo walk down the aisle or float down the aisle. It looks so stiff, like the animation has like no fluidity to it. He looks like he doesn't even belong with the other animated characters in the screen. It looks like someone literally just added him at the last second as like a parody for this movie, and it just felt so weird. I was excited to see King Boo, but they just made him feel weird. Even his animation of him floating is just kind of like his arms out and him going up and down, as if I just took a PNG of King Boo and moved it up and down a little bit and just slapped it into the end of the scene. And I'm telling you, I'm really not trying to be nitpicky. There's no voice in the movie that bothered me. There's no scenes that really bothered me. I didn't even really get bothered by some of the real world music used in this movie. This was just strange. It was like one of those like uncanny valley type of situations where it just didn't look right and it just made me feel gross. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if you thought the same thing. I just don't know what happened here. It looks almost as if they just at the last second decided to add King Boo. Like at first it was just King Bob-omb. Obviously you can tell because he was part of the story exploding and stuff, and you never see King Boo again. So maybe they just utilized this moment. They was like, you know what, let's add one more character, and they finally decided to add King Boo right before the movie was finished, so they didn't really have time to clean him up and stuff. I don't know, but it just looks bad. Even when he turns to go sit in his seat, you'll see it just looks terrible. Like his model just turns over and it just plops down, and he still floats and looks at the screen in that same face. Like he has no facial expressions, he has no other animation besides up and down. It's gross. I don't know what happened. But besides that, I am glad that King Boo is here. It is going to be a little strange because I don't know if they're going to go off of the same game formula where there's technically like 2 King Boos, 3 if you count Super Mario Sunshine, but you have the Luigi's Mansion version as well, which makes it kind of difficult. If they do have a Luigi's Mansion movie, are they going to use the same King Boo and then show his transformation into the way he looks in Luigi's Mansion? Are they going to have a different King Boo and explain how he's different compared to this one? I don't know, because I know a lot of people hate this version of King Boo that Mario has kind of conjured up instead of Luigi's Mansion's form, which has more personality and more flavor for a Boo. But at the end of the day, I am just glad that they decided to add some more Mario references, such as a new character. I just don't understand how they made it look so weird in the movie. But definitely let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if it's just me, if you guys noticed it as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe, or King Boo is going to haunt you in your dreams floating up and down with this terrible model. I'm so sorry. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you all on the next one. See you guys.